Park Talton for his minor hurling final 2022, Trim and Ashbourne. At half time, Trim lead by 8 points to 4 after playing against a strong breeze that's blowing into the Mahoney ends. I'll hand you over to our match commentator, CJ Murta, and chief analyst, Rory Dowling.
Analysis. The man, John. So Trim looked to be lined out as they were in the first half. Dara Heffernan with 8 in his back as centre half forward. Referee Henry is in talking to one of his umpires. So, as in the first half, number 11, Patrick Moran, who was lined out centre forward, is marking number 11, Ty Carty, who's lined out corner forward. Very unusual. So, also Michael Sullivan has drifted back again, but Aaron O'Rourke is going to pick him up, but I'm sure he will drift back, especially against this wind. So we're about to start the second half of this minor hurling championship final. Trim 8, DonaghmoreAshbourne 4, and on the ball is Dara Heffernan. Needs to be a bit more direct, gives it in lively to Kyle. Kyle is well marshalled by the full back, comes back to Dara. Dara still with ball in hand. Dara on his left side will have a shot from his left, drops short in towards the keeper. Kyle caught. Is Kyle in? Kyle is there, is Tig there? Ball still around the square, not cleared, still not cleared. Tig has it. If he flicks it out, it's a goal. He kicks it instead and doesn't kick it well and kicks it wide. A miss hit there from Dara almost ended up with a Trim goal, and you would feel a Trim goal might just solve the problem here, Rory.
It might do, but the big corner back there, Matthew Chute there for Ashbourne, managed to make a nuisance of himself there, and twice he got in the way there and came away with the ball and forced Tig to kick the ball wide.
Poor puck out from Sean Moore, goes to Dara Heffernan again. Dara, great man to run with the ball, runs into two challenges on his left side. Oh, not good from Dara, taps it over, turns to his right, has a strike. Does he get his first point of the game? Yes, he does, just what Trim needed at the start. Dara missed one or two in the first half, but that's his first strike, and he's a great powerful player from centre forward, Dara Heffernan. So ball, is that a change of goalkeeper for... No, same keeper pucking the ball out. He looks a bit bigger this half. Blocked down very well there by Ben Gaffney. Is it Ben Gaffney? No, Cormac Slattery. Tig Carty's on. Slats is still there. Ball on the ground. Tig is fighting for it. So DonaghmoreAshbourne. George steps in. Ball still on the ground. George bends and picks. Does he get it? Tig gets it. Tig is on the 21. Carrying it through. Oh, is he fouled? Well challenged by number 10. Tig still with the ball. He's given the free. Somewhat lucky now. He did well, Tig. But that'll be a 21-yard free chicken fodder for Kyle Ennis, just to the right hand side of the goal. And the great fighting by George Douglas and Tig there, Rory.
It was, and just something we had there, CJ, a little bit of a lack of confidence maybe there from Tig. I thought he had enough space there maybe to get tap the ball over the bar, but he didn't seem to fancy the shot. He drove on, but he drew the foul. It was a big hit, came into him, number 10, but Tig's a strong man. He was able to ride the challenge, and referee gave him a couple more steps to see if any advantage accrued, and it didn't. And good refereeing there from Henry to bring the ball back for a free for Trim.
Okay, so Kyle, who already has 4 frees on the board and 3 from play. Trim with 9 points, Dara Heffernan and Josh with the other 2 points. Kyle looks like this was his easy task to tap this one over, which it is, right between the poles. So that's Trim 10 points, DonaghmoreAshbourne 4. There is only 2.5 minutes gone the second half, and ominously enough for DonaghmoreAshbourne, Trim have taken a further 2-point lead. So it's 6 ahead with 2.5 minutes gone. Sean Ward with the ball in hand. We'll see where his puck out comes this time. Goes to the right hand side of the field, over there towards Daniel Murray. Daniel stick up, it'll be a Trim sideline ball. Daniel fought with it there with number 5, who's Gavin Jones. And George with the ball on the ground. Trim sometimes like a quick sideline. Nobody really looking for it. They gave a grand one to Owen Ryan the first half. It worked well. Here's George. There's Michael O'Sullivan in front of Kyle Ennis again. Now he drifts over towards Tig Carty, but it's well cut out there by number 10, who's Gavin Jones, I think, or no, Aidan Mackey. Mackey hits the ball on the ground, in steps. Lovely play by Braden Curley, but he's just shoveled off the ball by the midfielder there, Oisin Daly. Ball back with DonaghmoreAshbourne. Here's a lovely ball down the wing towards number 17, who's Derry Sullivan. Derry turns to his right, strikes a weak ball there towards the corner forward. Well marshalled. Aaron O'Rourke's in, George Douglas is in. Well taken up by Ben Gaffney. A great solid corner back. Ben misses the puck down along the wing towards Cormac Slattery. Cormac kicks the ball on. Michael O'Sullivan should have slipped in. He does second time, but Dara Heffernan gets it. But Michael is still there. Dara outplays. Dara's fouled, but he continues on. He's charging with the ball. Still going, Dara. Ball is flicked out, and this will be a sideline ball for Trim. There is 3.5 minutes gone. 10 points for Trim. Dara Heffernan causing a lot of trouble in there. Dara's coming out to take this sideline. He could hit it short to George or to Caleb is in the middle. Caleb still free in the middle. Dara with the ball. Caleb still free. Dara doesn't see him, but there's a man coming out and Caleb now. So Dara will have a crack at this. Michael Sullivan is just in front of it. Oh, great cut by Dara in towards the goals. Sean Ward's under it, taps the ball. It's going to be 70 for Trim. Beautiful cut by Dara, just what Trim needed. Some of George's were a little bit weaker than that, but that's a proper cut. And Kyler will slowly come out and take this free. 4.5 minutes gone. It's 70 for Trim. Kyle already has 5 and 3, 8 points on the board. 5 from frees, 3 from play. And he steps out to this 70. There's always a goal in Kyle when that ball goes in, so if he puts this one over, Trim will have a 7-point margin with just almost 5 gone in the second half. So once again, Kyler wipes down the hurl. Henry, in fairness, is letting that happen on a dirty day for Miners. So Kyle places the ball exactly on the 70-yard line. Quite close to him is Braden Curley, and Martin Dawson is dragging him away from that. So Kyle with the ball, lifts and strikes. Great strike by Kyle, is it down the middle. Imperious from frees today, Kyle. Wonderful shot again. 6 now from place balls and 3 from play. So Sean Moore with ball in hand. Trim beginning to pull away here, Roar.
Yeah, they've started the second half very nicely, CJ. Just nice and tidy, just tapping the ball over the bar when the opportunity arises.
So ball breaks Aaron O'Rourke, really impressed from the half back line. Hands a lovely ball out to Caleb Casserly. Trim are getting on top now. Caleb in towards Kyle. Donaghmore-Ashbourne might have to wobble up. Great touch by Josh. Josh still on the ball. Great touch there by Joe Dev in the cornerback position. Dara comes out, started the second half really well. Misses the pick. Taps it on to Daniel. Still Dara with the ball. Dara on the run. Will he strike it? It could be the point of the match if he does. What a score by Dara. Started the second half in tremendous form. His second point of the game. Trim 12 points, Donaghmore-Ashbourne 4. Looking a bit ominous now, Rory.
Yeah, that's 4 quick fire points from Trim at the start of the second half. They've gone short of the puck out here to Michael Sullivan.
Michael, a great drive down, but Caleb Casserly's under it again. Black back down there towards George Douglas. Lovely stick by George. George will turn to his right side. Is he fouled? He's not. He's still going, George. George still with the ball. Tries to find Dara Heffernan, who started the second half really well. George still on the ball. Strikes the ball in here towards Tig. Tig, it beats Tig, but Tig could get the second ball. The centre half, Patrick Moran wearing 11, comes in on him again. Great stick by Patrick Moran. And again, Tig wins the ball. Great tussle between the two 11s. Tig with the ball left-handed. Crosses the ball here towards Josh. Josh looking for a second of the game. Joe Dev is on him. Josh hand pass the poor ball though. And it's won by Joe Dev. Back there goes, is it Casserly? Caleb, brilliant. Caleb tried to beat 4 men, still going. He's adjudged to have over-carried the ball. Henry's doing a fine job in the match, gives the free against Caleb. There's 7 minutes gone. Trim 12 points. Donaghmore-Ashbourne 4. You fear a goal might just wipe this one out, Roar?
It might do. But Michael O'Sullivan is still back in a sweeping role, CJ, so he's going to, the best visibility to prevent that from happening. But I agree with you. Goal could.
At some stage they might have to chase the match, though, right? They'll have to take Sullivan out of there. So really well run. These two little lads. Oh, there's a nasty pull, and Ben Gaffney, who's having a fantastic game at cornerback, is fouled there by I think 17 Derry Sullivan, and. The Trim backs are well on top, Rory. Everyone, the only fella that really hasn't got a ball, but he hasn't had to, is the full back, Cormac Doyle. But you have Dara Smith, Ben, Braden, Owen, and Aaron all playing fantastic games.
Yeah, and Ben here in the corner back, every ball's got in CJ. He's come out, not the biggest player on the field by any man remains, but he's been very, very tidy in possession. And Brave there came out, and number 17 Derry Sullivan came in and pulled across him, and he's been booked by the referee. And I see Kyle has come all the way out to take this free.
So he hit one from 100 into the wind in the first half. He's going to try one from 120 with the wind. It'll be some strike from a minor. Kyle lifts and strikes. He got a huge hit at it. Is it over the bar? My God, that is an incredible score. Over the bar, 120 yards from Kyle Ennis. It's his 7th. It's his 10th in total. 7 from play. Trim 13, Donaghmore-Ashbourne 4. Dara Heffernan's got 2 and Josh Ayton got the other. You would like to see another player on the scoreboard. Great tap back there again by Braden Curley, or was it Cormac Slattery? One again by Donaghmore-Ashbourne's best man Michael Sullivan. He's grabbed to the ground by Dara Heffernan. That's Dara's second foul. He could get a little warning here from Henry, but Michael's helmet is broken actually, so he'll need the lend of a helmet. I hope that doesn't set him back, because he's a great player, Rory.
He is, and we won't be able to identify him as easy now, CJ. It was the yellow helmet, it was very easy to pick him out. It's going with a green helmet this time.
So his micro is cast aside, and in comes a Cooper, and Michael tightens up and he'll be ready to hit this one. This will be a lot tougher than the one in the first half, though. It is about 90 metres from the goals, and it'll be it's almost impossible to score from this length for a minor. But Michael, who's a great striker of the ball, just like Kyle, number 9 is gone in free. There's nobody picking him up. So Decky Murray shouting mad at him. Great strike by Michael, but it is going to drop a little bit short in around the square. Stick up is a one there by. Out comes, who have we? Dara Smith. Out, Caleb Cassidy starts second half really well. Needs to use the ball a bit quicker though. He's fouling there, and I would say George Douglas might go back and take this free. Trimback's very, very competent under every ball. At some stage, DonaghmoreAshbourne are going to have to move out, Rory.
They will, CJ. Do you have any ideas of trying to win this game? What are they now? They're 9 points down. 5-6 minutes into the second half, 10 minutes into the second half. So they're really going to have to push on at some stage, and that. Trim a very, very good second half team. The keeper made a mistake there, miss hit the ball. So
not like Owen Riley, was a poor, just clean miss hit it, but it's well picked up by Dara Smith. Ball on there towards Daniel Murray. Daniel picks by the sideline, but he's hooshed out over the sideline. It's going to be a sideline ball for DonaghmoreAshbourne, and most unusual to see a man clean swipe on the ball, Rory.
It is. We'll blame it on the wet conditions, CJ.
Okay. George was back there to hit it. He probably should have struck it. So DonaghmoreAshbourne with this sideline cut. It's going to be number 5, Gavin Jones. Will strike this one. Gavin, a lovely strike in there towards Owen Ryan. Is it Owen or Ben Gaffney again? Class by Ben. Not a good clearance though by Ben, and it's out to a left-hander there who strikes the ball in here towards Owen. Owen fumbles first ball, fumbles second ball, and fumbles third ball. Cleared eventually by Owen Ryan. Owen's a little bit hesitant today. Owen on the ball, gives a lovely ball down the sideline there towards Braden Curley, but in steps Keane Dowling. Keane back here towards number 13, Sean McKenna. Sean strikes it in towards the square again. Grabbed in there nicely this time by Doyler now. Doyler first ball again, but hits it straight down Michael Sullivan's throat. Dara Heffernan is on him. Class man for DonaghmoreAshbourne. Was he fouled there, but in towards Gavin Jones, wing back. Miss hit by Gavin. Ball went wide. DonaghmoreAshbourne don't have the firepower here, I'm afraid. Trim are still in commanding 13 points to 4 lead. 11 and a half minutes gone in the second half. Decky Murray trying to get the players into their correct positions. Sometimes with minors they can drift and the thing becomes broken up. But a lovely ball out there by Owen. Finds Dara Smith. Dara down towards Josh. Josh has been well marshalled by his new man there, Jordan. And ball is tipped out by Josh. Josh is just not as effective second half. And Joe Dev will take this sideline ball. Nice ball by Joe Dev in towards his own man. It's got there by Oisin Daly in the middle of the field. Still going, Oisin takes on 4 Trim and still going. Hand pass it on there to Michael Sullivan. Michael, the heart of everything that's good about DonaghmoreAshbourne, touched the ball on the ground that time. And Kyler will probably come out again. This one's only 70. This is chicken fodder for Kyle. If he can hit them from 120, he can hit them from 70. 13 points Trim, 4 points DonaghmoreAshbourne. 12 and a half minutes gone the second half. And Kyle will take his time again with this. Trimmer in the complete control, Rory.
They are, and the game is not a classic by any manner of means. Trimmer just being efficient, if nothing else, CJ. So I don't know what the referee is doing here. He's calling up. I don't know, he's giving out to Kyle for being taking so long, drying a stick or something. I don't know.
I think somebody from DonaghmoreAshbourne might have had a word, yeah.
Right, okay.
So
move the ball forward. All right.
A tough one has become a little bit easier for Kyle. And Kyle stands over this now. Michael O'Sullivan in front of him, midway between the 50 and the 70. Kyle with a strike, and by his action he scores it again. So it's his 11 point for Kyle. Man of the match sort of performance once again from Kyle. Backs outstanding here. Casserly getting really into the game. Dara Heffernan, great puck out there from Sean Ward, long into the wind. Tapped down by Trim. One there by number 10, who's Aidan Mackey. Mackey strikes the ball in there towards Michael again. Michael's on fire. Here he comes to his left side. Oh, he's fouled. Bad challenge there. No need whatsoever. Dara Smith came across and fouled him. Easy free for Henry to give, and this free should be tapped over the bar by Michael Sullivan just inside his own 50-yard line. So we have 13 minutes 40 seconds gone. Trim with a 10-point lead. It will be 9 in a minute. I'd say Michael Sullivan would strike this over. Sub warming up for DonaghmoreAshbourne, number 24. Sullivan on the 50-yard line should tap this one over for DonaghmoreAshbourne's 14 minutes exactly on the clock. Does Michael strike it all the way? Yes, he does. Michael gets his 5th of the game, the only scorer for Donaghmore-Ashbourne. 4 from frees, 1 from play, and Trim still well in the ascendancy. Owen Riley with the ball in hand, has a free man outside him if he wants it. Goes long towards Dara Heffernan, and Daniel Murray sticks up, but the ball goes, does it go over the sideline? It's gone over the sideline. So Owen had Dara Smith free there, but he chose to go along towards Dara Heffernan and Daniel Murray. Trim just taking the foot off the pedal a little bit now. We're approaching halfway in the second half, third quarter nearly over. Gavin Jones, a lovely hurler for Donaghmore-Ashbourne, cuts a great ball in towards the full forward line. In there is number 14, the full forward. He has Doyle with him, now he has Owen Royal with him, Evan O'Kane with him, but he hits a weakest shot in, overcomes ever dependable Ben Gaffney, who lets us down a little bit that time, but out comes Doyler. Doyler's second ball of the game, he's going to be hooked. No, he's a great strike, but it's only to Michael Sullivan in the middle of the field. That's the man who doesn't need to get it. Michael going for his 6th of the game, and Michael strikes it wide, and that is Michael's first wide of the game, but he is outstanding for Donaghmore-Ashbourne. Trim need to watch where they're hitting the ball. Cormac Riley, bad puck out. Oh, it works well for Trim. Nicely flicked on by George Douglas. One there in the middle of the field by Oisin Daly again. Oisin is robbed by George. In steps Oisin again. Back there towards Tom Ryan. Tom picks lovely. Don't foul him. Foul there. Ridiculous by George. No need whatsoever. Trim need to cut out the fouling when Donaghmore-Ashbourne have the ball. And Henry is looking like he's going to either tick George or give him a yellow card. No need for that one there, Rory.
No, a little bit over exuberant. He didn't book him, he just took a note of it.
So Daniel Doherty replaces Jack Keenan at corner forward for Donaghmore-Ashbourne. Halfway through the 16 minutes gone, so 14 remaining. Michael Sullivan, who strikes everything, strikes that one towards Owen Ryan. Well blocked by Owen, but it's only blocked there to number 13, who's Sean McKenna. Sean McKenna onto the full forward line, Evan O'Kane. Evan is a big strong man, bursts through, doesn't beat the second tackle though. Out comes Ben Gaffney again. Ben is fouled in there. Henry misses it. Oh, and a bit of a slash there by Evan O'Kane, but the ball has just gone out for a wide. And Decky is not happy with his team. He needs a puck out one here, pretty snappy to get Trim on possession again. Trim have a spare man for the puck out, Rory. Michael O'Sullivan is just standing under the puck out here around between the 50 and the 70. This time Owen goes to keep it away from Michael O'Sullivan, goes towards Daniel Murray, but the ball, that's the 2 in a row out towards the left hand side. Trim are trying to keep it out of the middle, Rory, but they're hitting it over the sideline.
Yeah, they are, and you know what, and probably in fairness, it's probably not the sort of a day for a short puck out either when you're winning by 8 or 9 points rather than given in case a man made a mistake close to his own goal. So he's probably right going long, but he just needs to be a bit more accurate if he's sitting it down the wings.
So this impressive wing back, Davin Jones, is it Gavin or Davin? Gavin is going to take this one again. He's a very proficient hurler, Gavin. He hit a couple of lovely sidelines. That's another nice one in towards Owen Ryan. Owen has been very dominant throughout. Brings the ball in, kicks it on ahead on towards Dara Heffernan. Trim need to win the ball. Dara on the ball. Does he win it? He doesn't. It's won again by Michael O'Sullivan. What a player this fella is. And he tries to do a Kyle Ennis. He chips it over his head. He's still going, Michael. Michael has a shot for goal. Good save by Owen. Ball comes across again, but it's really well played. Second time again by Owen. But Trimmer slacking off here and allowing Michael O'Sullivan to dedicate this game. Now, Dara Heffernan has it on his own, 70 yards out. Will he try for Kyle? There'll be nobody on Kyle. In towards Tig. Tig misses the first one. Does he get the second one? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Misses again. Kyle is the man to go to here because there's no third man on him. Instead, it's picked there by the wing forward, Aidan Mackey, who's having a nice game for Donaghmore-Ashbourne. Ball in hand there by Derry O'Sullivan, but a bad clearance by Derry. Only finds George. George in his own, 70 metres out, has a crack at the score. Great score by George, just what Trim needed to put the 10 points between the teams again. George with his first score of the game, and 15 points for Trim, 5 for Donaghmore-Ashbourne. Trim are bringing on a sub here. It's Daniel Fox. Who's he going to replace? And Pádraig Walsh looks like he's coming on as well. Daniel Fox is coming on for Ty Carty. So Daniel lines out where he was lined out, number 15, corner forward. Very effective, Daniel. Pádraig Walsh looks like he's coming on as well. So Sean Ward pucks the ball out. A very good ball against the wind out towards Gavin Jones. Gavin on the ball. Gavin does well, but it's very well intercepted by Daniel Murray. but instead it's clear down the wing there, and on his own is Josh who hasn't been on the ball for a little while. Josh picks inside one-handed, as is his forte. On his left side, goes for an acute angle. Does he score? If he does, it's a great one. What a score by Josh. Brilliant score. He first real play of the second half for Josh, and he's got his 3rd point, and he's having a marvellous game for Trim.
Quick, just notice here, Donaghmore-Ashbourne seem to be trying to push Michael O'Sullivan a little bit further forward, and it seems to be the number 10, Aidan Mackey, that they brought back into the sweep and roll, and they have to obviously go for it here.
So Pádraig Walsh, who was a mainstay of this team for a number of years, has had a very bad shoulder injury earlier in the year, and is making his first comeback here in the county final and replacing Braden Curley, who had a right good game for Trim as well. So there's 20 minutes almost gone. Trim are 11 points ahead. I don't think the result is in any dispute here. I think Trim will hold out and win this county final, but we've still 10 minutes to play. Sean Ward pucks the ball out long there towards George Douglas. George puts his tail by Gavin Jones, who's having a brilliant game for Donaghmore-Ashbourne. Grabs the ball, clips it in there towards the full forward, well blocked out. In steps Pádraig, so too Ben Gaffney. It's on the ground. Donaghmore-Ashbourne seem to have it. It's that man Michael O'Sullivan again, and he's fouled, and it's going to be a free in. He will tap the ball over the bar for his 6th and Donaghmore-Ashbourne 6th, but he may go for it, John, but I think even a goal may not help them at this stage. Number 5, Gavin Jones, very impressive for Donaghmore-Ashbourne.
Yeah, he's been very tidy, just going about his business nice and quietly there, and he's looked very good with the place ball as well. CJ, he's hit some fabulous sideline cuts from the far side of the field there. Yeah.
So over 20 minutes gone. It's 10-point margin again. Michael O'Sullivan with his 6th, Donaghmore-Ashbourne with their 6th. The only scorer for Donaghmore-Ashbourne, so it's 16-10. I thought we'd get a goal in this game. I still don't give up on it. Owen O'Reilly has the ball in hand, looking around, goes long again, up here now towards Pádraig Walsh. Does Walshy grab it? No, he misses the first one. In goes Cormac Slattery, in goes Dara's having a great second half. He's shouldered off it, no free, with George Douglas, with Pádraig Walsh. Walshy on the ball again. Walshy gives it on to Cormac Slattery. Great play, and Slats get a score. Ball in towards the goals, but to the left and wide. It's Cormac Slattery's first, it's Trim's 7th. So it remains Trim 16, Donaghmore-Ashbourne 6, 21 minutes gone. Another sub, 2 more subs coming on for Donaghmore-Ashbourne. Fionn Hogan, number 3, is coming on. He was lined out at full back. He's going in now full forward. And we have number, I think Derry Sullivan maybe coming off, yes, and 25 is coming on. So 2 subs for Donaghmore-Ashbourne. There's 8.5 minutes left, not much injury time. 16 points for Trim, 6 Donaghmore-Ashbourne. Sean Ward with the ball in hand again for puck out. Puck out goes to the right hand side of the field, over there towards Daniel Murray and Gavin Jones. Daniel and Gavin having the right tussle today, but Gavin wins this one. Daniel slashes a little bit, and he fouls Daniel when the ball should have been in hand. Number 7 there, who's Tom Ryan, is going over to hit this one, or is it Joe Dev? It's the sub Joe Dev, who's had a grand game when he came on. Couldn't do anything about a marvellous point there from Josh Ayton. I said it was Josh's 3rd, in fact it was his 2nd one in each half. Joe Dev with the ball. Michael O'Sullivan has probably gone in towards the square. Henry is having a word. The ball has been, this will go back because Henry's having a word with his umpire. So it was a great strike by Joe Dev, but it's gone back. So Henry's speaking to his umpires. I'm sure there's not too much going on with a 10-point game. There is no need for any messing. Owen Riley, he's having a word with Owen Riley. He might be pucking the ball outside the 5 or something like that, Rory.
That could be it. I can't see anything else. There was no...
So Jack Doran is on for Donaghmore-Ashbourne. Joe Dev, who's a very proficient hurler, hits a great ball in towards the 21-yard line. It's claimed in there by Caleb Casserly, who has Oisin Daly for company. Oisin still in the ball, had a good game for Donaghmore-Ashbourne too. He's on the 14, but out very wide towards the sideline. No need for a foul out there. Hand pass it in there towards, not sure who that is, but it's back here towards the sub. And Donaghmore-Ashbourne still in the attack. Evan O'Kane, the full forward, charges with the ball. Free against Evan, a little bit harsh maybe in the circumstances of the game, but he probably did put the shoulder down and barge in, but maybe it's one you wouldn't give. But Henry's having a very fair match.
Cormac Doyle's been very good in the second half, CJ. The ball just kind of passed him by in the first half. He didn't do anything wrong, but he's been very good in the second half.
So ball in here towards Josh. Josh wins another ball. Josh one-handed again, as he does every time. Goes through, gives it on there to Dara. Dara has the ball. He has Kyle inside him. Is Dara going for a major? Goes low, goes wide. Trim can't get that elusive goal. It's 16 points to 6. Still 10 points ahead, 6 minutes remaining. There'll be a minute or two extra time. Number 17, I think it looks like Eamon Yates, who's about 6'4", coming on. Nephew of Kevin Higgins. Better hurler than Kevin ever was. Ball coming out here towards the middle of the field. One there by George Douglas. Well played by George. George having a lovely match. Turns to his good side. Strikes it on there towards Daniel Fox. Foxy misses it. Gives it on to Kyle. Kyle does the usual trick. Skips it up. Assist the major we were waiting for. Chalk it up. Kyler scores the winner. 1-16 for Trim. 6 points for Donaghmore-Ashbourne. And it was coming all day. He tried that trick 4 times. It eventually came off.
Yeah, brilliant. And once he got by the full-back, CJ, there was only going to be one result. Yeah, super stuff from Kyle. You know what, that's 1-11 for Kyle now.
So Eamon Yates comes on the corner forward for Cormac Slattery, and Daniel Fox goes out a wing half forward. Ball poked out by Sean Ward over the heads of everybody. On it comes George Douglas. George set up that last one. Is he going to set up another one? It's a lovely ball into Kyle. Kyle tries trick number 5. Doesn't get this one. Ball still on the ground. A little bit of action after the ball out there. I think Daniel Murray might be involved with Caleb Casserly, a few of them, but really there's a man on the ground inside there now for Trim. Is it Kyle? Kyle is down. There could be a card given here, but really this game is well and truly over, Rory. I hope it doesn't cut up.
Yeah, it'd be a shame if anything like happened. I didn't see you. I was looking what was going on behind the play here with Daniel and Owen Ryan and a few lads. There was nothing too much in that. A bit of pushing and shoving and a bit of pulling and dragging, but nothing too much. Kyle seems to have caught a bit of a bang there. The referee's awarded the free, and he's just checking with his umpires. Hopefully Kyle is okay to get up. Yeah, there's no need for any of that sort of stuff now at this late stage of the game.
So there's 25 minutes 47 seconds on the Hey Spuddy, how are you? On the clock. 1-16 for Trim. 6 points Donaghmore-Ashbourne. Henry's going to the linesman now to see that the linesman know anything, but really with 4 minutes to go, you really would just play out this game. Kyle is down. I think he'll be up to take his 12th point of the game. Josh has given us a load of tricks over there on the ball. He's had a great game, Josh Ayton.
Yeah, he's been very impressive, CJ. So much so that they had to make a change. They had to put a sub on him straight away, change his man after about 15 or 20 minutes. And the man that came on quietened him down for a little while. For about 10 or 15 minutes, Josh seemed to be a bit quiet, but then he's come back to life here in the last few minutes. He got a wonderful score. So Henry has gone back here now behind the field. A yellow card for Daniel Murray and the other man. There was a bit of pushing and shoving. There wasn't too much that I could see. And he's called another man over as well. Looks like the number 12. Is it the number 12?
So
Michael McIver has been called in by the referee as well. I think he must have made him in the fourth man into that little thing. But hopefully it's only a yellow, and it is, yeah.
So 3 yellows given. I wouldn't be getting onto the ref at this late stage. There's 3 minutes left in ordinary time. With that Tramuzzle, there could be 3 minutes injury time. There was no injury time. There was several subs, but Kyle Ennis is going to step up to this one. This would make it 1-12 for Kyle, an incredible tally for any kid in the final. And he goes low. Oh, he didn't go for the 1-12. He stayed at 1-11, but he'll probably get it now because it's a 70. But
strange choice there, CJ. I wonder why he went for the goal. I mean, the game's comfortably in the bag. A simple tap over free.
Yeah, he probably tapped this one over though, Rory. So 1-16, 6 points, 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Kyle attempting one for his 12th point of the game, and his 15th in total, as in 1-12. So Paul Ryan with the magic towel, with the magic hands and hurl of Kyle. Kyle stands over this one exactly 70 metres out. Martin Dawson looks from behind as well. Kyle, familiar pose, lovely stance for a free taker, lifts, strikes, and without doubt over the bar. So 1-17 for Trim, 6 points Donaghmore-Ashbourne. There is 14 points between the teams, and the game has been well and truly over after maybe.
Sean Murray coming on here for Trim.
Okay, so number 19, Sean Murray, is going to come on for Trim. Sean's a forward, so one of the forwards will be coming off. Ball pucks out towards Caleb Casserly. Caleb, great catch. Well, second time around, he caught one brilliant one in the first half, one brilliant one in the second half, but he's lost possession and possibly foul. Still ball on the ground over there, but it's very well won by, I think it's Owen Ryan. Owen slipping on. And the ball goes out, and Eamon Barry runs down and gives the sideline to Trim. And Josh, who's had a great game for Trim, has been replaced by Sean Murray, son of Mick. And Josh, son of Charlie, has had a marvellous match and gets a well-deserved round of applause from the sizable Trim crowd here today. He had an expert game. So, sideline been taken over there. It looks like Dara Heffernan. Somebody should be standing in front of the ball here. Dara's going to take this one. Great sideline by Dara in towards the square. Up goes Eamon. Eamon Yates, ball on the ground, doesn't get the first one. In slips Sean Murray. Ball still around the square. Will it be cleared?
There will be at least 5 minutes.
5 minutes. That's torture for Donaghmore-Ashbourne. Ball still in play. Eamon Yates with it. Back to Dara. Dara will have a goal chance. Hits it off the bar. And does it go out for a wide? It goes out for a wide. Smashing shot by Dara, Rory.
Brilliant stuff from Dara, yeah. Donaghmore-Ashbourne just kind of ran out of steam here, CJ. They just didn't have enough scoring forwards to trouble the Trim defence. All their scores have come from Michael Sullivan. Their captain, who's the number 3, didn't start, so he obviously must have picked up an injury, Fionn Hogan. But that's a great hike by Aaron O'Rourke.
So Aaron, who's had a mighty match, in slips George again. Ball picked up there in the middle of the field by Keane Dowling. Keane has been effective for Donaghmore-Ashbourne as well as fouled there by George. George wants to be careful now. He's had a couple of fouls lately, but 117 for Trim, 6 points for Donaghmore-Ashbourne. Michael Sullivan will try to slot his 7th of the game. The only scorer for Donaghmore-Ashbourne. He's been immense for them, but just not enough firepower in the whole Donaghmore-Ashbourne squad to really put pressure under Trim. Michael pops this one in towards the goals, but in trying to pop it in, he hit it wide, and it's the second wide of the game. Only Donaghmore-Ashbourne's 4th. There is 31 minutes gone. Henry has advised that there's 5 minutes extra times to be 4 remaining. Owen O'Reilly has been issued to hit the ball down the stand side here, which he does, and it's out here towards Caleb Casserly, Pádraig Walsh, Dara Heffernan. Dara or Pádraig, one of them will get Dara or Walsh. He's played the ground games as he come on, flicks a lovely ball to Foxy. Foxy one-handed picks, pretty right-handed, turns in. Nice ball across the square in towards Sean Murray. Sean could flick it off to Kyler. Sean is hassled away by Jovan. Kyler still in the ball, a couple of wild sweeps, and he's going to get a free. It's going to be a free in. Kyle got another one across the leg there, but this will be a handy 21-yard free for Kyle. He could tap it over to make it 113 for him personally. So this game well and truly over. 2.5 minutes. Donaghmore-Ashbourne throwing on a few subs now. Trim have 3 on.
Just going to comment on the man there on the line for Donaghmore-Ashbourne there, the man with the orange t-shirt there, Eamon Hogan, a great hurling supporter. Donaghmore-Ashbourne, I know his son was involved with us at Meath underage teams over the last couple of years. So, and I presume that was his son Fionn, the number 3 for Donaghmore-Ashbourne, who obviously couldn't start with an injury. So best of luck, Eamon, and I hope you manage to get Donaghmore-Ashbourne back, competing at the higher levels of hurling in years going forward.
So Kyle goes for the goal and he gets it. Personal tally at 2:12 for Kyle out of 2:17. No mercy from Kyle. Doesn't feel sorry for Donaghmore-Ashbourne. I was just about to back up what Rory said. Great to see Donaghmore-Ashbourne back in an A hurling final, which is no mean achievement. I mean, the scoreboard on the day does probably reflect the superiority of Trim, but it was great to see them in the final. Few outstanding performers for them. Gavin Jones at wing back. The 2 midfielders played well. Outstanding Michael O'Sullivan. But Trim are on the attack again, and it's Caleb Casserly. Caleb shortens his hurl, gives a lovely ball in. It's in towards the square. Sean Ward is under it, grabs the ball but misses it, and it's going to be another 70. Another chicken fodder for Kyle. Kyle already has 112 in the bag, I think, if we're not wrong. 212 rather out of 217. Fair score. 212 is a cumulative total of 18 points. That wins any match on its own. Kyle slips out to this looking for 213. 33 minutes gone, 1.5 really left in the game, and Henry could do the favour and blow the whistle after this. He found 5 minutes of extra time, which was torture for Donaghmore-Ashbourne. But Kyle with the magic wipe again, taking his time over this one. and Trim will undoubtedly collect the cup. Rory, I think, is it 6 and 8 years or 5 and 6 years or
I
something?
was just trying to look through the programme there, CJ. I'll have that information for you now in a couple of minutes, but it's been a very, very impressive run for Trim. And particularly if you look at the team that'll be starting today in the senior match, you'll see how many of those lads will be in with that first team, that Trim team that got the ball rolling. So yeah, it's great to have that conveyor belt of talent coming through.
So that was wide from Kyle, surprisingly. There is 1 minute left. Sean Ward pucks it out. Under it is Danny Fox. Daniel was with the hand, first time, second time. Oh, Daniel got a bad bell. That was a dirty wild pull there by number 7, Tom Ryan. Daniel, in fairness to him, got up like a light, and fair play to Daniel, because that was a fair nasty belt, but he got straight up off the ground. Henry could send him off for this. I hope he doesn't in the last. That's fair enough in the circumstances of the game. Sensible refereeing. Trim 17 points up. Daniel got straight up, and Kyle will tap this one over for probably the last play of the game. Shame that just it finished like that, but in fairness to Daniel Fox, he got a nasty belt and he's up walking around, which is fantastic for a kid. He didn't lie down. So up comes Kyle, looking for 2:13 here. Stands over it. Lifts and strikes Kyle. 2:13 for Kyle. 2:18 for Trim, 6 points, and undoubtedly Henry will blow the whistle at the end of this. There is 35 minutes played. The game is over. It's been over for quite a while. Puck out from Sean Ward. Henry allowed play continue. Donaghmore-Ashbourne only want to finish. Caelan Castley goes up. The foul in the middle of the field there. Free in there for number 10. So a last hurrah here for Donaghmore-Ashbourne to strike the ball in long there towards only probably Owen Ryan. Game over. The Trim have comprehensively won this minor hurling championship. The lads go mad. Great win, Rory. Very much expected, but the job has to be done by the same token.
It does, and not easy in those conditions, CJ. The conditions, when it's wet and windy like that, can often level up the game a little bit, and can suit the underdog. But Trim were probably a little bit slow getting started, CJ, but they really found their mojo there in the second half, and they were very, very strong. And great to see. And it's 5 and 7 years, CJ. Just a quick look at the programme there. So
5 minors in 7 years, wonderful achievement. Decky Murray has been involved with most of those. A great achievement for Trim. And to a man they all performed to heroically. We won't delay very long because we have to take some water break here before we go into action for the senior final. Suffice to say, we wish the seniors the very best of luck in a half an hour's time, and well done once again to Trim Minors on a brilliant display.